Hello road course race fans, and welcome to the Moon Speedway Road Course for the inaugural Three Rivers RC Night Road Course Racing event for the 95 Tornadoes, a very applicable name for this race. It's only 71 degrees here tonight in the Pittsburgh area. Bill Steinbach, this could be his golden opportunity to pick up his first win of the 2013 season. So far, he's 0 for 4. We'll see how that shapes out. And Chad Limburner and Steve Brown, can they do anything in this road course? Stay tuned right here on the Three Rivers RC Racing Channel.
But the scenario you cannot manufacture. We're gonna need some action. We're gonna need some action.
Getting ready for tonight's feature event from the Moon Speedway Road Course. Steve Brown on the pole, who elected to not participate in this evening's heat racing activities. Bill Steinbach in second and Chad Limburner in third. Get ready for some rough and ready RC racing. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they let out the clutch and go towards turn number 1 and 2. Steve Brown jumps out to the early lead. Bill Steinbach in second spot. Chad Limburner mired back in third place early in this one, as Steve Brown comes around to complete lap number 2, only to end up on the retaining wall on the outside of the short chute between turn number 1 and turn number 2.
Wow, Brown having a lot of trouble here in his Dodge going around for the first several laps here. He gets it going and spins out right there as he was catching back up to Steinbach, who has a hefty lead now, coming around for lap 5, hitting the stripe and going back onto the track as Limburner has some trouble up in turn 1, hitting the second wall there, coming out of the Moon Speedway setup.
Bill Steinbach and Steve Brown make some contact in turn number 4, and that will bring out the first yellow flag of the evening. Chad Limburner also had an issue up in turn number 1. His car got on that beam separating opposite sides of the racetrack.
Now you're going to see a lot of sliding around here. There was a lot of gravel, a lot of dirt on the track because of some cleaning procedures that the track maintenance team was doing, and there's a fight down there for the lead. Brown comes out on top, and Steinbach is mired in third place as there's now a fight again with Limburner.
Very aggressive and some more contact between Brown and Steinbach. Brown wrecks coming out of turn number 4, bringing out another yellow flag here on lap 9. Here it is again. Coming out of turn number 4, looks like the bump and run by Bill Steinbach, except Steve Brown got a nice windshield full of concrete.
I think Steve Brown was trying to desperately avoid contact there. He got up on there, didn't want to come back down the track, and we're under green flag again, and there's a lot of a scuttle down there. They continue to move. Steve Brown has the lead, and look at Limburner's spoiler, and he's flipping upside down on lap 11.
Wow, Chad Limburner upside down on the front stretch. Here it is again. Coming out of turn number 4. Wow, what an impressive flip. It looks like he drove up onto that curbing right there. Easily sends his vehicle upside down. That Chevrolet takes a nice tumble.
You know, his spoiler was off just before that happened. Could have messed him up aerodynamically, got him upside down.
Bill Steinbach needed some rear downforce there as Chad Limburner takes the lead away from Steve Brown. Brown turns Limburner in turn number 1. Bill Steinbach now claims second spot, driving off and into the sand pit, but he'll be able to regather himself and drive off as Brown and Limburner are stuck down in turn number 2. A yellow flag is out on lap 14.
Now remember, procedures here are just like they have been for cautions and restarts all throughout Three Rivers RC history. If you go 3/4 of a lap down after a major event besides going upside down, that is an automatic caution. If it is upside down, it's a caution depending on how bad the wreck is or where on the speedway it did occur. Oftentimes, drivers can run out onto the track and fix their cars right away, and it will be still green conditions. Green flag on lap 15 here, and Steinbach has the lead, but gives it up to Brown as he goes to the outside of the speedway. Limburner has trouble.
Steinbach has the lead coming out of turn number 2. Brown was wicked sideways coming out of turn number 2, and he'll lose that car all the way towards turn number 4, hitting that cone in the center of the corner. Chad Limburner now will try to pass him. Looks like he may have lost reception, simply sailing off into the corner. As Steinbach comes up to lap him, has some trouble. And Steve Brown has more trouble in the same spot just a lap later. Turn number 4, yellow flag is out on lap 19.
That Dodge isn't handling very well here, and we can see a wreck under caution. Look at this impact. Look at that. Look at how that body is shaking on that Chevrolet.
Quite a lick right there. Field getting ready to have another restart. Brown a little bit on the outside. Chad Limburner bounces and goes upside down, landing on his roof. Here it is again. Different camera angle. What a violent flip. Look at this car twisting and turning through the air, coming to rest upside down. Unbelievable.
I believe it. It happened. And now Brown's having a lot of trouble. He'll back up into Limburner, and he'll actually take second spot away, but not for long. Brown has trouble after Limburner bounces into the outside. And, you know, in that yellow Chevrolet, Limburner's getting pretty aggressive here early in the season.
Got to be aggressive on these road courses to make up track position. Bill Steinbach still has a very comfortable lead over the rest of this field. Chad Limburner in second spot, but Brown was coming up fast. Lost control, now driving the wrong way on the racetrack. Hits leader Bill Steinbach. Chad will try to come up on the inside. He'll move Bill Steinbach up out of the groove. Steinbach repays the favor out of 4 to take the lead away. And there's a cone sitting in the middle of the racing track in turn number 4. Right there, right in the groove where these drivers are ready to get back on the throttle. Very pivotal moment right there by the officials to wave a yellow.
Of course, you can't have racing when that cone's all the way out there. I'm surprised that Brown got around it without having serious damage done to his car. But, oh, look at the track maintenance team practically dancing around on the front stretch, getting everything organized and ready to go. Limburton will come around for the outside lane. Looks like he is the one they deemed caused the caution.
Green flag is back out, full throttle off, downshifting. Back up through the gearbox, coming out of into turn number 4 onto the front stretch. Limburner passes Bill Steinbach very aggressively, and that'll put Bill Steinbach on his lid in turn number 1. He'll walk out onto the racetrack to put it back down. Steve Brown drives over him, gets twisted up, and lands upside down as Limburner comes into the shot.
All right, look at this corkscrew here that happened to Brown because he went right over the top of Steinbach. I mean, that car goes way around upside down and then is pulled by the tire of Bill Steinbach. All right, here we are back to the race. Middle lane is where Steinbach will have the lead, actually, coming on that restart. 3 wide and then split up here.
Looks like that middle lane is the lane to be on these restarts. Bill Steinbach tries to get into the back end of Steve Brown. Look at the back end of that Ford sliding out as he comes through these sharp corners. Looks like Steve Brown went out of the shot. Some debris you can see in turn number 2. Yellow flags out here on lap 33. And it may be for that debris down in turn number 2. You can see Steve Brown sail off into turn number 2, was not able to get traction. That was actually the reason for the caution. Also a good time for the officials to pick up that debris. Okay, green flag is back out. Steve Brown spins out in turn number 1. Chad Limburner has some trouble in turn number 2. White flag is out. Bill Steinbach's in the lead. He'll actually lap the rest of the field to pick up his first victory of the 2013 season. The battle's on for second spot. Steve Brown comes around. He still has, looks like another lap as Chad Limburner has some trouble in turn number 4. He'll finally cross the stripe.
And another win for the road course ringer here. Now, both he and Limburner are in position to win those 5 of 9 races not at Moon Speedway and get an extra few bonus points. Could help propel one of those 2 to the season. Brown obviously still does have a shot, but it becomes just that much narrower.
Of the 10 road course races in the history of Three Rivers RC, Bill Steinbach has won 7. Well, we're coming up on 4 consecutive races at Moon Speedway, which you can see all of them on no other place but right here on the Three Rivers RC Racing Channel.